Development means nothing if the people's well-being is not taken care of. After all, a healthy and energized public leads to a productive and empowered nation. And this company does just that through the electrification of health centers in grassroots communities. I'm Pinky Webb, and this is the all-new season of Business Matters, where doing good is good business. Electricity is a vital utility in the modern world, energizing all essential services that improves the overall quality of life, including healthcare. But not all enjoy the convenience and advancement brought about by electricity. For a lot of off-grid communities, this service remains a luxury, one that they can only dream of having. The municipality of Concepcion, Iloilo is one of the most disadvantaged areas in the country, with 16 island barangays providing access to electricity and essential health services for their constituents remain difficult.
Itong mga island barangays are places which we considered as GIDA areas, no? Geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas. That is why it's hard for us to service them, not only the health, but also education. There is always a great challenge for us bringing in goods and services in these areas because of inclement weather, bringing services to them. That is why our services for this barangay island is talagang kinukulang kami.
Barangay Polopina is one of the many island barangays of the municipality that remains off-grid. From the mainland, it takes about an hour or two via boat ride, depending on the tide, to reach the remote community. But come rain or stormy weather, the Barangay Polopina Health Center tries its best to keep the health and medical needs of nearly 4,000 residents in various sitios of the island village in tip-top shape. And ready to serve in its front line are its tireless and dedicated barangay health workers, or BHWs.
Our barangay health workers are actually the health education promotion officers in the barangays. So we were able to equip them with the training or basic health services na pwedeng ma-provide nila sa kanilang level. So for example of these basic services, mga prenatal services, maternal and childhood services like immunizations, prenatal counseling, family planning counseling, consultations, integrated management of childhood illnesses, na consultations at the midwife and BHW level, they can do it.
Cristina Dumaraog, or Christy to her peers, has passionately served her community as a barangay health worker for more than 2 decades. According to Christy, it was her mother who inspired her to help her fellow island residents as a BHW, particularly keeping the health of children in check.
Yung nanay ko kasi noon, isang kagawad din. Sabi niya, gusto mo mag-volunteer ka para makatulong ka kasi mahirap pag walang BHW sa isang sityo. May mga training din kami para matuto pa kami sa mga bagong mga teknolohiya para sa health ng mga pinapaabot namin sa mga tao.
Despite the glaring challenges faced by a grassroots-level health center, Christy and her fellow BHWs still remain positively committed in giving the best medical service they can to the island's residents, making the most of what they have just to provide care to all those in need.
Kahit na mga sakit na pwede lang namin mabigyan ng first aid, diarrhea, lagnat, nang kaya lang namin silang matulungan. Yung isang estudyante noon na talagang hinika siya. Eh, wala naman kaming magawa, pero Ito binigyan namin ng ng pang first aid na doon maghinga sa supot ng tinapay.
But modern medicine requires one vital utility, electricity, one that the Island and Health Center lacks. Though their center has the equipment to give adequate and accessible care, Christy and her fellow BHWs still resort back to manual work, unable to utilize their center's full potential.
Gusto din namin makatulong sa mga pag emergency. Kahit yun na lang sinasabi ko sa inyo pag may hika, nebulizer na pwede namin magamit dito. Kasi lahat naman ng tao dito, wala namang gamit na mga generator. Sana dito may kuryente para hindi din kami mahirapan.
The lack of power in the center not only is a burden for the patients, but also for its BHWs, whom all have to adapt and improvise just to be able to commit their sworn duty to the community.
Pag may mga report kami, talagang dito kami sa labas gumagawa. Kasi mainit din ito, hindi kami komportable. Mga 18 kaming BHW, kaya mahirap pag sa loob kami lahat. Yung iba doon nakadapa sa may katre.
Though difficult and often a thankless job, Christy continues to remain positive in her mission to help her community, putting aside all hardships to serve her people.
Iwan ko kung kailan pa ako talaga mag-resign kasi parang hindi ko na maiwan yung mga tao. Minsan kahit na, siyempre may allowance din kami sa barangay, 200. Yung nung una ko palang pasok, 200. Okay na sa akin yun. Kasi marami akong natutunan na makatulong pa ako sa mga tao.
Off-grid health centers like Barangay Polopinas and Concepcion, Iloilo, indeed, is disadvantaged. Separated from the mainland, electrification via traditional means may prove difficult, unrealistic even. But no challenge is too great for the country's top power distribution company, who, through its corporate foundation, continues to find innovative ways of energizing and empowering remote communities. Can you tell us more about Juan Meralco Foundation's electrification program, particularly this new venture?
You know, Juan Meralco Foundation, when we reorganized the foundation 12 years ago, to really focus more on electrification programs in rural communities. It has brought us to many low-income villages, even within the Meralco franchise area, and energized about 70,000 low-income households, as well as to really far-flung, remote, off-grid communities in the Philippines, where we energize initially public schools. We've actually done 290 of those already in a span of a decade.
Providing countless opportunities, whether through livelihood or education. The company and its foundation certainly made impact to off-grid communities energized and empowered by electricity. But seeing how the pandemic challenged the health situation in the country, the foundation saw it fit to evolve the program.
This new venture on energizing health centers has been actually in our plans. But it was, I think, after the pandemic, led us to really focus more into it because of the need of a lot of communities, initially for vaccine storage. And so the parceling challenge was, it cannot be stored in health centers because they don't have refrigerators or storage facilities kasi walang kuryente. That really ignited, we have to do this now. And then when we started to study, specifically in very remote communities, which have health centers, hindi lang pala vaccine storage. They needed for nebulizers.
It's true.
They needed fetal Dopplers. They can easily do this if they had electricity.
Seeing the urgency of powering off-grid health centers like Barangay Polopinas, Juan Meralco Foundation partnered with the local government of Concepcion, Iloilo to energize the center through the use of solar technology, creating significant change to the medical services delivery to the communities it serves. How does electrification help the community? Not just the community, the health workers as well.
I think one of the instant results of health center electrification is that the health workers have this certain level of enthusiasm. They have a renewed enthusiasm to work for the community. I'm sure they double up doing overtime just to help these communities. Because now they see their kids being able to, let's say for example, enjoy the benefits of a nebulizer. Pregnant women need not travel across the seas to the mainland to have their babies checked, especially I think the heart rate. That's why they can now use fetal doctors. And of course, the vaccines. Now they can store vaccines in the center and all the other islands surrounding Polopinia.
And with the light provided by the Rural Health Center Electrification Program comes a renewed sense of purpose for BHWs like Christy, adding another layer of vigor to her passion for serving her community.
Natutuwa lang ako. Matagal na nga, dami ko nang naranasan, sir. Kahit papano, talagang lumakas yung loob ko sa trabaho. Kampante yung loob ko. Wala akong iniisip kahit sa bahay, kahit marami akong ginagawa. Pag dito ako, talagang trabaho yung iniisip. Masaya talaga ako ngayon. Pag sa loob kami nagtatrabaho, talagang maipakita namin sa tao nga talagang gumagawa kami. Dagang laking pasalamat na bigyan kami ng ganitong pagkakataon na may solar.
I'm very happy that you have given us this opportunity. So rest assured that our cooperation will be full so that we could sustain this program. And I believe One Meralco as a corporation, I believe also your desire to provide this kind of services to the people, particularly in the far-flung areas, is really timely for us here in Concepcion.
But more than empowering the community, the electrification program also instills a sense of responsibility and stewardship.
When it comes to maintenance, the barangay health workers would regularly check the equipment. Yung barangay officials, they were informed of rehabilitating the barangay health station and with the regular na checking ng solar equipment. Along with that, hindi nila ini-exhaust talaga yung equipment para hindi siya masira. Some of them are also trained on how to maintain the equipment.
How does this mission align with the vision of the parent company?
The greater vision of Meralco is really bringing the benefits of electrification, especially to the marginalized communities. As a leader in the industry, it is imperative for us to use our knowledge, our expertise, our skills, our competencies, even our volunteerism, to be able to extend the benefits of electrification to marginalized communities in the Philippines.
Sana darating pang araw na hindi lang ganito ang maabot ng center natin para yung mga tao ma-akomodar namin ng mabuti.
As the concern for climate change becomes more pressing each day, private companies have now included environmental sustainability to their CSR programs. And this Philippine-based unit investment holding company has made it top priority to contribute and reach out through meaningful coastal community engagement. Being a part to almost every facet of Filipinos' lives today, this top conglomerate seeks to create meaningful and long-lasting positive impact through transformative CSR initiatives.
Metro Pacific Investments Corporation is a leading infrastructure investment company. Being part of your daily life, we should be able to contribute also to communities. And being part of improving their lives is the mantra given to us by our chairman, Manuel V. Pangilinan.
Championing the environment is one of the flagship programs of the foundation.
Shore It Up started in 2009. Nondoy was really a wake-up call for us, and we thought that we should come up with a program on raising environmental awareness. And that meant looking for local government units that are also sharing the same advocacies that we have.
One of their partner communities is the city of Alaminos in Pangasinan.
Pag nasira ang environment natin dito sa lungsod, bababa ang aming tourism. We try to maintain our environment, preserve our environment, make up local policies to make sure na natutulungan natin ang ating kalikasan.
Alaminos City also boasts of a lush and sprawling mangrove forest. But this hasn't always been the case.
Noong mga 1960s to 1970s, yung mga bakawanan natin ay kinonvert into fish pond dahil naniniwala sila noon na yun yung magpaparami ng fish to supply yung mga pangangailangan ng mga tao. But then, later part ay na-realize nila na ito pala ay hindi sustainable.
The local government then made its reforestation a top priority.
Meron tayong mangrove nursery at sa lahat ng coastal area dito sa Alaminos City, dinevelop natin ang buwed into an eco park.
And as a champion of the environment, the foundation saw it fit to include mangrove reforestation and restoration initiatives to its flagship program.
We were able to meet Dr. Georgian Primavera. She's a Filipino scientist from the Zoological Society of London. And she was able to introduce us to how important mangroves are in the ecosystem, aside from the fact that they serve as carbon sink and that they are good habitats for the fish.
Partnering with the Alaminos City LGU and a local NGO, the foundation established a mangrove propagation and information center in Barangay Buwid, Alaminos City Eco Park, which was opened in 2015.
Nagkaroon ng parang icon. People go there for leisure also to see the mangroves. And of course, yung awareness ng mga tao dun sa ano ba ang nagagawa ng mangrove sa kalikasan.
The center not only has been a hub for information, it also created jobs for the local residents like Angelica Brudo.
Bilang isang eco guide po, ang trabaho po namin is inform ang mga bisita about the importance and benefits of mangroves and on how to conserve.
Like Angelica, Emmanuel also takes pride in his job in educating locals and tourists alike about the benefits of mangroves in our ecosystem.
Yung laro ngayon na uso, which is Mobile Legends. Parang ikino-connect ko si mangrove. Kunyari, ang sinasabi ko, yung base nila is yun yung bahay nila. Kunyari, pag nawala yung mangrove and wala nang protekta sa bahay nila, wala na. Pag sa tunay na buhay, wala tayong reset, wala tayong start the game again.
And since 2011, the partnership and program has increased the initial 3-hectare forest cover to 8.20 hectares, creating significant environmental impact.
To measure the impact of what we've done, we have commissioned the Philippine Business for the Environment to measure the carbon sink. And the equivalent nito is the removal of the greenhouse gas emissions of 24 vehicles plying the whole toll roads a year.
As well as social and economic impact to the community.
Bilang eco guide po, malaki po yung tulong ng trabaho ito dahil dito ko po kinukuha yung pang-allowance araw-araw. At 3 years na po ko dito and 3 years ko na rin pong sinusuportahan sa pag-aaral yung kapatid ko.
Nung una, parang ang pan ko pa nun is, 6 months lang ako ulit dito. Pero nung nag-1 year ako, parang sabi ko, bakit? Parang tumatagal ata ako dito. Okay, sige, gagawin ko yung best ko. Nakapagpatayo po kami ng bahay na hindi lahat is gastos ng pamilya namin.
The The foundation has also expanded their reach to the coastal communities, hoping to replicate the success in Alaminos City in propagating and preservation of their mangrove forests.
We're celebrating our 15 years. We look back at how we've grown in terms of partnerships. We have 12 partner LGUs now in different areas of the country. We have 3 mangrove propagation information centers. We've seen how it is important to have a holistic approach.
The program's impact goes beyond awareness. It serves as a shining beacon to inspire other communities to partake in the collective effort for environmental care.
Ngayon, nakikita nila na itong mangrove park na ito, ang ginawa ng City of Alaminos with the boardwalk, with the help of MPIC, na magtayo ng MPIC Center doon, ay nakakapagbigay ng turismo sa ating mga kababayan. It's another destination that the tourists can go.
Taking care of the environment is everybody's business. And through their CSR programs, the conglomerate and its foundation hopes to create more meaningful engagements towards a more sustainable and cleaner future.
It's always been the mandate of our chairman, Manuel V. Pangilinan, to improve the lives of people. It's a wake-up call for everyone that the threat is real and that the change should start within us.
Often overlooked and lacking adequate support, the Philippine agriculture sector holds a treasure that has stood the test of time, that once unearthed has the potential to work wonders for various industries. And with passionate and dedicated individuals, this technology can become a catalyst for paving the way for a sustainable future. Amid the rapidly evolving world of innovation exists a wonder that is quietly revolutionizing the field of agriculture. Produced through the process of pyrolysis, biochar is a type of charcoal-like substance made by heating biomass, such as plant material or agricultural waste, in the absence of oxygen. As simple as it may seem, biochar can unlock the potential for enhanced soil fertility and provide an enduring foundation for sustainable agriculture.
Biochar is a carbon-rich, very porous structure that in itself does not have any nutrients. However, it is an alkaline product. When you put it in the soil, it contributes to making the pH more balanced.
One notable advocate for the adoption of biochar in sustainable farming practices is international rapper and philanthropist Apple Diaz. Apple, tell us what got you interested in farming.
I grew up farming. I used to tag along with my grandfather till I was 14. So we used to grow from sweet potato to corns to rice, kamoteng kahoy, and I used to be the designated kalabaw watcher.
Bakit nawawala ba yung kalabaw?
Yeah, if you're not watching them, riding them, they stray. They go in different farms and then you have to search for days.
What's driving you to go back into farming?
It's always been a part of me and I've wanted to get back into it. I'm meeting Philip. I'm learning about this ancient technology that's been forgotten that could really help our agriculture and farmers.
The municipality of Brooks Point in Palawan exemplifies the diverse applications of this technology.
Brooks Point is one of our projects because there's a lot of depleted soil from the abundant use of chemicals and fertilizer. And by utilizing biochar, you could treat the soil and to be able to grow crops again in a healthier way.
Are there any other use for biochar that you're hoping to utilize?
Biochar is a toothpaste, and then it also cleans our water. 55 applications. One of my favorite things, a heat wave going on right now. With this biochar paint, it cools down the classrooms about 30%.
This technology was put to test in a school in Zambales just before the onset of the rainy season.
So far, the results that we've had with testing equipment provided by Apple's Foundation is very substantial.
As well as applying the biochar into materials, especially for coastal areas.
Like, it is in coastal communities. The rust that develops on a typical roof happens very quickly. But we discovered that when you use biochar with the paint, it will last 5 times longer.
To provide us with a clear understanding of this technology, they took us to the school and allowed us to witness how it works firsthand.
We are in San Juan, Botolan, in this elementary school. We installed several temperature and humidity sensors and another sensor closer to the level of the teacher and closer to the ambient temperature that the students will actually feel.
They also compared the results with another classroom where the biochar carbon coat paint was applied on the roof.
Through the app, my cell phone monitors the temperature changes, both classrooms as well as the ambient temperature outside.
Actually, talagang napakainit talaga ng classroom namin. Lalo na kasi yung classroom namin, walang ventilation talaga, halos na pumapasok. Nagkaroon ng pagbabago buhat ng napinturahan ng biochar. Ang ganda na yung ventilation namin.
We're wrapping up the testing of the cooling effect. We're done with the testing on the durability. We're very close to being able to introduce this to the public.
Coming from humble beginnings, what is that dream of yours?
Give back to the farming community and also improve the agriculture in the Philippines. If we really focus on sharing the awareness of biochar, we could revisit how Philippines used to be.
When we witness passionate advocacy, supporting and contributing to causes becomes easier and motivates us to get involved in initiatives that benefit not only specific groups but also have a positive impact on our nation as a whole. Creating a world where basic needs are met with equal opportunities are provided, community development becomes a transformative force, a kind of progress that embodies the true essence of nation building. Join us again next week as we share more inspiring stories of communities and people whose lives have changed for the better. For comments, suggestions, and updates, do follow us on our social media accounts. I'm Pinky Webb, and this is Business Matters, where doing good is good business.